Pick her up the big blue A there. And he's through that for a 1. Very happy days. So far he is level pegging with Jack Carthy. Jack Carthy's really put the pressure on here. You see in this replay, absolutely perfect on that rock. And this one is so difficult. Uphill, upslope takeoff. It's so important that these guys get, well, all of us, get the right tyres, get the right compounds. We rely so much now on the products that we ride with. Kenny has a new Continental tyre. Loads of grip, loads of spring and loads of bounce as well to help get up these huge obstacles. Just walking over the 3rd section. Jack Carthy had such a good ride on this, finishing with just the 1 point. Just checking with his brother Wesley there. Some advice, making decisions on the best way to ride the section. And that last move is so tricky as well. You see this huge crowd here. Lots of support for Kenny Belay. Here we go, so entering section 3 of the super final here at the UCI Trials World Cup. Kenny Belay fighting to be first. Yes, massive, absolutely brilliant line. We haven't seen any other riders do this so far. Everybody else has opted for the high line. That's a big power move that he's just done, straight up onto that, and he made it look effortless. So like I said, he's actually now riding for GT bikes, spending quite a bit of time over in America recently. But I know he always loves to be at home, be on his own rocks training here. Here we go, this is the big move, one of the biggest moves in the competition. The rock in front of him is nearly 6 feet high. So just imagine being on your bike and pedaling flat out at something that is higher than your own head. Here he goes, the crowd are behind him. Yes, absolutely perfect. He's really concentrating now. He knows that he needs to try and clean this section. Struggling with a bit of pain there by the looks of it in his hand. Here he goes, lining up for this last move. Really is a very tense moment here. Now Jack put his foot down, so did Aurelian. He's just getting a bit shaky. Look how small that is. He's opted to put the foot down. That is a very good idea. He's just trying to play it safe. He wants to get out of the end of the section. Yep, and he's out the end of the section. The crowd are going wild. They're very happy with that. So far, he is dead level with Jack Carthy. Now Jack Carthy cleaned the next section. So that's put Kenny under quite a lot of pressure. Means he's going to have to ride this next section completely clean to keep his chances of being number 1. that replay of the hook there that he just absolutely flew up. So here we go, he's on his final section. Straight over the first two obstacles, no problem. Then this very difficult 1m30 step up. You see the concentration in his face. Oh, he just held that. Kenny, that was so close. Here we go, he's going for this big step. And he's put a foot down. He's taken a 1. I think that means so far he is 1 point behind Jack Carthy. Here he goes, he's going to try and go for the clean, I think, up this very technical, very challenging piece, or obstacle rather. Yes, and he's up, front tyre over. Yes, straight the way over to that next one. Making these gaps look so straightforward. He's really struggling with his arm there. He's digging in deep here. He's got some real pain. If anybody can make this, Kenny can. See the sweat dripping off of his nose. This is really intense. Come on, Kenny. The local crowd really behind him now. Come on, Kenny, here we go. Yes, straight up to wheels on the top. Scream of pain as he hits the floor. He's finished. He can go and rest. His arm's really hurting him there. I think he's going to need to take a bit of rest time after this competition. So as far as I can work out, I think he's 1 point behind Jack Carthy. The 15-year-old British rider, Jack Carthy, so far is in the lead. Only Gilles Castellier can beat him now.
30 seconds for Gilles Castellier.
30 seconds for Gilles.
He is out so, and he did this whole section with.
So for those of you that have just joined us, welcome to the first round of the Trials World Cup 2012. My name is Andre Burton. I'm your commentator for the rest of the competition today. We're on the last rider, Gilles Castellier from Martigues in the south of France. Multiple world champion Gilles here. He's very, very experienced. Let's see if he can keep his head. So far, nobody's made it through section 1. Everybody getting caught on one certain rock. Let's see if Gilles can do it. Just walking his way over now to the start. There's a great crowd here in Belgium. This is an absolutely fantastic event for the sport. Gilles just checking over the sections. He will have been over in the warm-up area, just keeping warm, keeping his head in the game. There's Claire, his wife, sorry. Always there for support for him. Just checking over the sections. Riding the #1 jersey, you can see he's wearing the world champion jersey. These guys have to work so hard. There's not many people in the world that get to wear a UCI world champion jersey. And I think by now he has a room full of them. So let's see what he can do. Everybody else so far has gone through on 5 points on this section. Will he be able to make it through to the end? Just staying right on the back wheel there. Everybody else going to 2 wheels. He's just making it look like child's play. Really good control there. There's literally only a handful of riders in the world that can actually ride these sections, and Gilles is making it look so straightforward. Here we go, the second major obstacle. Yep, and he's clean straight up to 2 wheels. Beautiful riding by Gilles here. Taking a different approach from the other riders. The other riders opting to pedal at it from the floor. This next one, he's going to try and go from static on his back wheel to hook. Just jumping backwards there. Now these sections are tight on time as it is. Looks like he's going for the pedal up option from the floor. But it's so slippery on this floor. Yes, there we go. He's through clean so far. You see his wheel spinning as he pedaled up for that rock then. Now this next one is incredibly tight. Oh, and he's flown through that one. Absolutely outstanding riding here by Gilles Castellier, the current world champion. Now this next rock, Jack Carthy and Kenny Belay could not make it. Very, very tight. You see him just front wheel hooked over. Yes, and he's through clean. He's over that one. Now he's got this next waterfall section to go through. Here we go. On the back wheel, straight across, straight into the water. He's still clean. Hooking the front wheel over the top. Look how high he is, miles up there. Down to the roof of the VW. Yes, and he's out on clean. Unbelievable. Every other rider on 5, and Gilles has just gone through clean. On to section 2. He's going to be really happy with that. He's already got a huge advantage over everyone else.
Maakt hij minder dan 11 punten, dan is hij de winnaar. Zo simpel van hetzelfde.
Outstanding riding there from Gilles. So Gilles is just checking over the sections there. We come at you live from Extreme.com, broadcasting live from this event in Aalter in Belgium, where Gilles is putting his bid in to be #1. He's already world champion. He's won many world champion titles. He's 26 years old. And he's from Martigues in the south of France. Very committed individual. And his brother unfortunately couldn't be here, Giacomo Castellier, due to a large injury that he sustained. Really bad injury he sustained last week. Yes, and Gilles making that so nicely, that first move. First time. Up onto the top of that rock. Oh, it looked like his brake just slid slightly then. You can see how specialist the bikes are. No seats, ultra low frames. The wheelbases are much longer than a standard bike as well. The brakes, you'll hear them squeak. And that squeak, that loud, high pitch noise is basically because the brakes are so powerful, they just instantly lock on. So you rough up the surface with an angle grinder. They have specially designed brake pads so that the brakes don't move. You can imagine being on all of these little points. You want your brakes to be absolutely solid so that you don't move. Up on the back wheel, and this is a tricky bit. Getting the front wheel right up on top. He's managed to get right the way round. Yes, and straight up to back wheel. Incredible control. Really keeping his composure through this section. Now this last rock, everybody so far has put a foot down on it. Very tricky. What is Gilles going to do? He's got to try and get his front wheel hooked over the bottom of that slope and then twist 90 degrees up to the left. He's opted to put a foot down. Very sensible riding. That's his first point of the competition. Smoothly down to the floor. Just over this last rock. And he's out on just 1 point. Just 1 point. Some words from Claire there. He's got to keep focused. He's halfway through. Anything can happen still. So Gilles making his way to the third section now. 2 outstanding rides. Cleaning that first section. At this stage, he is well ahead of the opposition. Incredible composure Gilles has got here. He's got such a good head for competitions. You see that's his result from it's his scoreboard from the final from earlier on. First lap of 25, second lap of just 8 points. But anything can happen. All it takes is one tiny slip, and he knows that just as well as anyone else. He knows all it's going to take is one tiny slip, and that's it. He's out of the game. So it's a long way from over yet. So this is section 3, the log section. He's opted for the same route as Kenny, off that concrete, straight up to the wood. Yes, just landing right up on top of it. Up to back wheel, putting his front wheel right on the edge. Inch perfect. He's so well composed right the way through this section. Here we go for the big hook now. This big step up move, nearly 6 feet high. You see him getting his composure together. Oh, and he's just put a foot down. That's okay. He's still well ahead. He has this last bit to get over. Checking the time of the section, just 2 minutes 30 to complete it. This next step is absolutely huge. That bottom bit that they've got to jump up onto, even the lowest part is at least 1.35 meters. Well over 4 feet high, this. Yes, straight up to back wheel. Putting his front wheel in nicely. Pressure's on, he really needs to keep his concentration on this. You can see the angles of those logs. It's not like they're just flat surfaces. Yes, really steep, getting his front wheel right the way around. Yes, he's done it. He's cleaned that section. He's got 1 point just before on the hook. He's well ahead of the opposition, the only rider to get through that part of the section clean. Incredible riding from Gilles. So far, if he can get through this section, he will have won, but it's still very close with Jack Carthy. Unbelievable, Jack Carthy on the podium. Guaranteed on the podium now at just 15 years old, his first ever World Cup. He's only just old enough to ride these events. You can see there, just in that replay, just had his weight slightly to the left. Such a difficult move there, unbelievable. So, the last section, fourth section of the super final here in Aalter. You're with us live on extreme.com. And this is Gilles Castellier. Yes, straight up. Straight up that block. Now this is the big hook. Kenny took 1 point on it. Jack Carthy managed to clean it. Yes, he's cleaned straight up. Made that look incredibly easy. That is amazing. Absolutely amazing. That is about 5 feet high, short run up on horrible wet grass with no traction. He's got to really keep his head in the game here. Yes, just holding his balance on the top. This next huge gap straight across. Nicely holding it. So smooth. He needs to make it out of this section. Pushing that front tire right into the corner there. Just checking the time, making sure he's got enough time for this last move. Now here we go. If he can make this, he has won the first World Cup 2012. He'll go straight into the lead. MC there getting the crowd going. Concentration in his face. Here we go. Straight to the top, pedalled off that. And he's out the end. He is the winner of the World Cup, the first round here in Belgium in Aalter. And he takes the lead with another 4 events to go. There's Kenny there chatting to Jack. Kenny's actually Jack's new sponsor. He's seen his talent. Massively impressive ride there by Jack Carthy. And Gilles is going to be incredibly happy with that. Some outstanding riding there. Such a good atmosphere here at this event. Big thanks to all the sponsors. Without the sponsors, this event would not happen. And without Kenny Belay, this event wouldn't happen either. Thanks to a huge input from him, this event has been able to happen.
Wij gaan zien allemaal naar het podium nu voor de ceremonie. Allemaal naar voren komen aan de rondte.
So in a couple of minutes, we're going to go over to the award ceremony. So we're just waiting for the award ceremony now. They're just getting organised before they do the podium. Gilles there, very happy. Kenny did incredibly well, especially considering that huge crash he had earlier on in the final. Don't forget, we're going to be also covering on Extreme.com the next Belgian leg of the World Cup on the 19th of August. So we're just waiting now. There's a big crowd assembling in front of the stage. And next up, we still actually have the 20-inch finals. They're going to be kicking off shortly after this ceremony. So don't forget, the 19th of August, join us again for the next Belgian leg of the World Cup. It's going to be round 3 of the